Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Animals tend to display their version of strength to an extent that sometimes they inflict harm upon themselves. From a bull fighting gone incredibly wrong, to a bear who got knocked up by a water pipe. Here are some instances of the most dangerous animals in the world that got what they deserved. Bull that almost escaped.
Are you not entertained?
This incident is quite similar to a famous scene from the old movie Gladiators. In June 2013, a bullfighting game went terribly wrong in Spain after the chosen bull went berserk after having one of its horns broken as it struck a wall hard. Due to the presence of tissue in the horn, it must have sent a massive bolt of pain into its brain, making the agitated bull get even more desperate. It made 2 unsuccessful attempts to jump out of the bull ring and into the crowds, but on the 3rd, it managed to reach the crowd, resulting in a total panic. The bull was, however, taken control over minutes later. Great white caged itself. The size and the rage of this great white shark almost got itself boxed in a cage. During a diving tour by the Guadalupe Island in Mexico, a massive, violent shark came charging towards a diving cage and managed to break into the cage after it was lured by the bait's blood. Once the shark was inside the cage, it started to struggle viciously until it managed to find its way out of the cage from the surface. Seconds later, a diver who couldn't make it out of the cage in time emerged, having to have dodged a very close and scary encounter. Hit in the nuts. Either this is just a coincidence or a case of instant karma. This footage was captured by a trail camera showing a huge brown bear who was messing around with a water tank in curiosity when a metallic end of a pipe struck on its nuts. The hit was so powerful that the bear collapsed onto the ground for a while before it got up and disappeared. The owner of the camera placed it to investigate after fixing his water supply several times, and he was lucky enough to see karma delivered. Crocodile tries to break free. Just by looking at the size of this croc, you get the vibe that this could be one of the biggest crocodiles ever seen. Locals from a small Philippine village called Santa Fe found this abnormally huge crocodile hiding in the mud by the riverbank while investigating the disappearance of several livestock animals. Villagers attempted to restrain the massive crocodile, who almost broke free from a transport cart. At this point, the locals called in the animal authorities, who managed to remove this massive reptile. Man casually slaps cobra. Cobras may have quite the self-esteem to be one of the most dangerous reptiles, but this man single-handedly shook this cobra's confidence. This video was captured somewhere in Pattaya, Thailand, showing a man who was selecting a cobra out of dozens of cobra pets for the snake show. One of the cobras oddly taunted him, to which the snake man responded by giving it a tight slap over its face and immediately shutting it down. The other cobras sure got the message after seeing one of their own being made into an example. Tiger escape attempt tackled. Either this tiger was really friendly or just another paid actor putting on a show. A wild animal anesthesiologist who was being interviewed got interrupted by a tiger who somehow escaped from its cage and almost seemed to be running away. Luckily, the good doctor nearby knew his way around the tiger, so much so that he tackled it back to the cage. Soon after this bone-chilling incident went viral, some called it to be all scripted, yet others considered it to be a stroke of dumb luck. Dog urinates on electric fence. This untamed dog sure learned its lesson the hard way. This footage was randomly uploaded onto the internet in September 2011, showing a dog who instantly gets a powerful electric shock as it urinates. According to the recorder, his dog has a nature of being a bit too aggressive and dangerous, so his neighbor installed an electric fence due to safety concerns, which sure did a good job in disciplining the dog and sure moved his train. Giant anaconda captured. On an empty stomach, anacondas can be very dangerous, but equally vulnerable after feeding. This huge anaconda was captured from a river nearby after it ate a dog in French Guiana. With one of the locals being an expert in handling huge snakes, it managed to wrestle, restrain, and blindfold this huge serpent while it was resting in the river. It measured to be over 10 meters in length and was estimated to weigh over 100 kilograms in weight, making it one of the largest anaconda snakes ever to be seen on the continent. The fate of the anaconda remains a mystery. Bear trapped in dumpster. After all, this bear does provide a community service of not letting leftovers go to waste. This video was released by Placer County Sheriff, showing a bear who found itself trapped inside a dumpster. The bear, nicknamed as T-Shirt, is a local celebrity in the area who lost track of feeding and got stuck. Officers who were called in arrived on the scene to help remove a chain lock that had trapped the bear. As one of the officers distracted T-Shirt, the other got close enough to unlock it, and shortly after, the massive bear got free. PIGZILLA taken down. If you live in the countryside, you know how much of a problem these wild boars can be. A Kansas farmer saw this enormous wild boar that was rifling through his dumpster next to his crop fields. He reported that since PIGZILLA was destroying most of his crop, this was the perfect opportunity for the farmer to take it down once and for all. After it was put down using a large caliber rifle, the farmer used one of his tractors to remove the body. Typical wild boars weigh over 1 to 200 kilograms, but this one was upwards of 600 kilograms. Large crocodile stuck. Here's another large crocodile who seemed to have been overwhelmed by his ambition. Footage captured by a local from a small village in Matara, Sri Lanka, showed a large crocodile that was caught stuck in a canal leading off to a nearby river. With the villagers having safety concerns, wildlife departments were called in to move the giant croc far away from the village. With it being over 5 meters in length and weighing around a ton, several heavy-duty construction vehicles were also summoned to rescue and relocate the giant reptile. One of the wildlife experts commented that this croc entered the canal as it was in search of prey, and as the water level rose, it got stuck. Woken up from hibernation. This bear was so deep into hibernation that it almost got buried under concrete rubble. A construction crew was working on site to demolish a building in Ontario, Canada, when they noticed a huge grizzly bear that was stuck inside a basement of a building that was being demolished. Due to the rubble falling all around, the bear was stuck and could not exit until the construction crew were kind enough to make a hole big enough for it to escape. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by one of our subscribers. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows, we might even feature it in one of our videos. This picture and video were taken on June 30th, 2008, showing an incident where an entire family of 6 gorillas were murdered. The bodies were discovered by park rangers during a tour for tourist photographers. First, they found a pregnant female gorilla, and 15 minutes later found the leader of the gorilla family, along with other clan members, who all had several bullet wounds in their chests. As the news spread among the locals, everyone was left shaken, just as if it were a tragedy struck within their own family. They started a funeral ceremony by placing leaves inside the mouths and the wounds, and carried them on stretchers made of bamboo. The deceased gorillas were carried for miles to a ranger base, showing dignity that they could assemble in face of a tragedy. This was no ordinary wildlife crime, but a plain and simple execution. Human goat headbutting challenge. For goats, headbutting is as much of a challenge as arm wrestling is for humans. This video was recorded by a farmer on the outskirts of Montana, showing a man who took up a headbutting challenge with one of the male goats. The standoff remained almost a tie for several seconds until the goat finally managed to win the challenge. After all, headbutting could be called one of a goat's many talents. Kangaroo holds dog hostage. A group of hunters decided to go out for a catch with their dogs on May 27, 2021, when one of the dogs accidentally collided with an unusually huge kangaroo that appeared out of nowhere. It took one of the dogs as a hostage and didn't seem to want to let it go anytime soon. Luckily for the dog, its owner happened to be a big guy who stepped in towards the huge kangaroo to rescue his dog. At first, he gave the kangaroo some room to ease the tension, but when it got close to him, the man was forced to punch it, making the kangaroo confused. In the process, the dog owner disengaged and stepped away. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.